Hey guys, well, it's happening. I'm going to pull the motor on the BMW. So last week I finished up these upper shock mounts. Sitting on the bike and going through the suspension, it felt pretty factory, so I'm going to move on to my next step, which is going to be pulling the transmission off and then pulling the motor out of the frame. You can see I removed a lot of stuff already, like the tank and the seat and a lot of the electrical harness. Before we get into that though, I'm going to fabricate a cradle to hold the motor once I do get it out of the frame. That way it's not, falling all over the place. It's nice and organized. Got this pile of metal that I've cut and drilled. And now I'm going to weld it all together. That way it will support the motor once it comes out. Alright, I got one half of my cradle built. You can see there. Pretty simple, it's just going to hold the two bolts on the bottom of the engine. So I'm going to make one exactly like that, just mirror imaged, and then I'll attach them together and then we're ready to go. I didn't go too crazy, just welding the entire thing and squaring it up and everything, but it's going to hold a motor, so let's test that theory out. I usually don't take parts off of a bike unless I need to for whatever reason, and so these passenger pegs are still on, but they're coming off because I have a pretty good reason now. Keep poking me in uncomfortable places, so these gotta go. Alright, that was getting really annoying. So here's another little BMW airhead trick. This swing arm is held on by two posts on either side, and those are captured by some 27mm lock nuts that are captured in this little circle in the frame. Now, because of how big this nut is in relation to the hole that it sits in, it's tough to find a socket that's going to fit that. So what I've done is I've taken my socket and I've ground the shit out of it until it fits in here and I can get that lock nut off. Comes the transmission out. Now let's do the motor. I kind of messed up, guys. I didn't film taking the motor out. You can see right there, lying on the ground next to my engine cradle. It's very awkward to try to do that on your own, fitting it into the cradle. I mean, it was awkward getting it out in the first place, and honestly, I'm a little thankful that I didn't try to pull it out while recording. But I can tell you roughly the process. Once you pull the two motor mounts, there's none up above. Really all you have to do is tilt the motor to the left so that the top of it clears this frame, and then you just pick it right up. The motor itself weighs less than 150 pounds, easy enough for one person to do it. It's just a bit of an awkward shape. You kind of have to straddle the bike while grabbing the, whatever you can. So, you know what I will do is I'll film sticking it on the cradle. Well, there you have it, guys. The motor's on the bench along with the transmission, ready for teardown and inspection. And I think I'll finally show you guys some of the new parts we got, including the new pistons and cylinders. These things are brand new, including stainless steel pushrod tubes. Really gonna spice the thing up. So the dual plug heads are finished, and I should be getting them, probably today or maybe next week sometime. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for more fabrication work, because there's plenty more left to do on this bike. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please consider subscribing. I've got plenty more on the way. Next week might be a special episode if I can wrangle it. So keep your eyes peeled. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you around.